Ladies and gentlemen, I stand before you today with a message that may seem unusual, yet it is one that must be spoken. We often hear that kindness is the greatest virtue, that we must extend it to everyone no matter what, that we must always turn the other cheek. And while kindness is indeed a gift from God, a command from Christ himself, I ask you today, are you using it wisely? Are you showing kindness as God intended, or are you wasting it on those who trample upon it, twist it, and take advantage of the good heart the Lord has given you? Jesus was kind, but he was not weak. He loved the sinner, but he did not condone sin. He showed mercy, but he also overturned tables in the temple. He welcomed the lost, yet rebuked the hypocrites and called out the wolves in sheep's clothing. He knew when kindness could change a heart and when it would be wasted on those who sought only to destroy. Yet so many of us today go through life pouring kindness into places where it is neither wanted, received, nor respected. You must ask yourself, is your kindness bearing fruit? The Bible tells us to be wise as serpents and innocent as doves. That means we must discern where our kindness is needed and where it is enabling sin. Some of you have been too kind to people who continually hurt you. Some of you have been too kind to those who mock God, mock your faith, and mock righteousness. And I tell you today, stop being kind to everyone. There are those who seek God who are lost and in need of love, who long for a hand to lift them up. And then there are those who reject the truth, who spit in the face of grace, who laugh at your kindness while taking from you again and again. You are not called to be a doormat. You are called to be a light, and a light does not shine in the darkness to be consumed. It shines to expose, to reveal, to lead. Some of you need to say no. Some of you need to walk away. Some of you need to stop casting your pearls before swine. Jesus did not chase after the rich young ruler when he walked away. He did not plead with the Pharisees who hardened their hearts. Yet so many of us chase after those who have made their choice, who have shown again and again that they do not want what we offer. My friends, let your kindness be like Christ's, strong, discerning, and unshaken. Love as he loved, but do not let your love be wasted. Give, but do not allow yourself to be drained dry by those who have no desire to change. Speak truth, but do not argue with those who refuse to listen. Pray for them, yes. Hope for them, yes. But do not spend your life trying to warm hearts that have chosen to remain cold. The time is short, the days are evil, and God is calling his people to stand firm. Be kind, but be wise. Be loving, but be bold. And most of all, give your kindness where it can grow, where it can change lives, where it can be used for the glory of God, for that is the kindness that truly matters. Amen. Kindness is one of the greatest virtues a person can have. It is a gift from God, a reflection of his love, and a powerful force for good in the world. But kindness, like all good things, must be used with wisdom. Too often people believe that kindness means always saying yes, always giving, always tolerating, and never setting boundaries. But that is not the kindness Jesus showed. That is not the kind of kindness that brings true change, healing, or righteousness. There is a difference between being kind and being foolish. And if we do not understand that difference, we risk allowing our kindness to be used in ways that do more harm than good. Jesus himself was the embodiment of perfect kindness, yet he did not waste his compassion on those who rejected him. He loved sinners, but he did not tolerate sin. He healed the sick, but he did not beg the Pharisees to believe in him. He fed the hungry, but he did not chase after those who followed him only for the bread. Jesus knew when kindness could transform a heart and when it would be thrown aside. And if we are to follow his example, we must learn to do the same. Many people struggle with the idea of setting limits on their kindness. They feel guilty for saying no, for walking away, for choosing not to extend grace where it will not be appreciated. But the Bible tells us to be wise as serpents and innocent as doves. That means we must not only be loving, but also discerning. There are people who will take advantage of kindness, who will see generosity as weakness, who will drain a person emotionally, spiritually, and even physically without ever changing their own hearts. There are those who will ask for help but never take responsibility for their actions, who will accept forgiveness but never repent, who will cry out for mercy but never extend it to others. Kindness towards such people does not bring them closer to God. It only enables them to continue in their ways. God calls us to be good stewards of all He has given us, and that includes our kindness. If we keep pouring kindness into places where it is not received, we are neglecting those who truly need it. Imagine a farmer who keeps planting seeds on rocky ground where nothing grows. No matter how much he waters, no matter how much he cares for the soil, no fruit will come from it. But if that same farmer takes his seeds and plants them in good soil, the harvest will be abundant. Our kindness is the same. We must plant it where it will grow, where it will lead people closer to Christ and not keep them trapped in their sin. This does not mean we stop being kind. It does not mean we turn cold, selfish, or bitter. It means we must pray for discernment in how we show our kindness. We must ask God to guide us, to help us see where our love can truly make a difference, and to give us the strength to walk away when kindness is being misused. It means we must stop feeling guilty for setting boundaries, for protecting the goodness God has placed within us, for refusing to let others abuse the grace we offer. Kindness is not about pleasing everyone. It is about glorifying God. It is about leading people to truth, helping those who want to be helped, lifting up the brokenhearted, and strengthening those who seek righteousness. If we use our kindness wisely, it becomes a powerful tool in God's hands. But if we waste it on those who reject it, we only weaken ourselves and delay the work He has called us to do. Be kind, but be wise. Love, but do not be blind. And above all, let your kindness be guided by the wisdom of God, not by the demands of the world. Being kind does not mean being a doormat. Too many people believe that kindness requires them to accept mistreatment, to endure abuse, and to give endlessly without expecting respect in return. But that is not true kindness. That is self-destruction. God never intended for His people to be taken advantage of, manipulated, or used by those who have no intention of changing their ways. Kindness is a virtue, but it must be paired with wisdom, strength, and discernment. If kindness makes you weak, exhausted, or broken, then it is no longer serving its purpose. Jesus, the ultimate example of kindness, was never a doormat. He was compassionate, but He was also strong. He healed the sick, forgave sinners, and showed mercy to those who sought Him. But He also stood firm against those who opposed Him. When the Pharisees tried to trap Him with their words, He did not shrink back. He answered with authority. When the money changers turned the temple into a marketplace, He did not tolerate their corruption. He overturned their tables. Jesus knew that love does not mean tolerating everything, and grace does not mean allowing yourself to be mistreated. If someone repeatedly hurts you, lies to you, or takes advantage of your kindness, it is not unkind to walk away. In fact, sometimes the kindest thing you can do is to stop allowing them to continue their harmful behavior. Set boundaries, stand firm, and let your kindness be a reflection of God's wisdom, not the world's expectation. So be kind, but do not be a doormat. Love others, but do not let them take you for granted. Be a light in the darkness, but do not allow the darkness to consume you. Stand firm in your values and let your kindness be a reflection of God's strength, not human weakness. There is a profound lesson in the words of Jesus when He said, "Do not cast your pearls before swine." This is not just a warning, but a command and a truth that many of us need to take seriously. Not everyone will cherish the kindness you offer. Not everyone will appreciate the love you extend. And not everyone will respect the goodness you share. If you keep giving your heart, your time, and your compassion to those who trample on it, you are not acting in wisdom. You are squandering the gifts God has given you on those who do not care. Kindness is precious, like a pearl, rare, valuable, and capable of transforming lives, healing wounds, and drawing people closer to God. But when pearls are tossed to pigs, they do not admire them, they do not treasure them. Instead, they trample them into the mud, oblivious to their worth. There are people in your life who will do the same with your kindness. No matter how much love you pour into them, no matter how much you give, no matter how often you forgive, they will not change, they will not respect you, and they will not recognize the value of what you offer. Instead, they will take what benefits them, use you for their own gain, and leave you empty. Many struggle with this because they believe kindness means giving without limits, loving without restraint, and always being available. But Jesus never commanded us to waste what is sacred on those who do not value it. He never told us to pour endlessly into people who refuse to receive, nor did he instruct us to destroy ourselves trying to fix those who do not want to be fixed. In fact, Jesus himself walked away from those who rejected him. He did not chase after the Pharisees when they hardened their hearts. He did not force his miracles upon those who refused to believe. He did not waste time convincing those who had already made up their minds against him. Yet, so many of us continue to pour kindness into the lives of those who have proven they do not deserve it. This does not mean we stop loving. It does not mean we stop caring. It means we must discern when kindness is no longer helping, but instead enabling someone's destructive path. There is a difference between loving a lost soul and enabling someone to remain in darkness. If someone repeatedly disrespects, deceives, manipulates, or abuses your kindness, you are not obligated to keep giving. You are not required to keep forgiving without change. You're not responsible for saving them. Only God can do that. Many fear that walking away makes them unkind, that setting boundaries means they are not loving enough. But love without wisdom is not love at all. If your kindness is being exploited, if your forgiveness is being misused, if your love is being taken for granted, then it is time to step back. It is time to let go. It is time to stop casting your pearls before swine. This is not about hatred. It is about honoring what God has placed within you. It is about protecting the goodness he has given you. It is about ensuring that your kindness is used where it can truly make a difference. There are people in this world who need your love, who will value your kindness, and who will be transformed by the grace you extend to them. Do not waste what is precious on those who will only trample it. Be wise, be discerning. Love, but do not be foolish. Above all, remember that kindness is a gift. Use it wisely. Kindness is not meant to drain you, to break you, or to leave you empty. True kindness does not weaken the giver. It strengthens both the giver and the receiver. It brings healing, joy, and restoration, and it glorifies God. But when kindness is given recklessly, when it is poured into the wrong places, when it is constantly abused, it ceases to be a blessing and becomes a burden. That is not what God intended. Many people mistakenly believe that kindness requires sacrificing yourself at all costs, even when it leaves you depleted. But this is not biblical kindness. This is self-neglect. Even Jesus, in his perfection, took time to rest. He withdrew from the crowds when he needed renewal. He spent time in prayer to recharge his spirit because he knew that even the Son of God could not pour into others if he was empty. If Jesus himself protected his energy, how much more should we? When kindness is given to those who truly need it, it brings fulfillment and strengthens your spirit because you witness its impact. But when it is continually taken for granted, when it is given to those who only take and never give, it does not bring joy. It brings exhaustion. It leaves you feeling used, unappreciated, and resentful. That is a sign your kindness is being misused. Some people will take from you as long as you allow them to. They will drain your kindness, your time, your energy, and your resources without ever considering the cost to you. If you do not set limits, if you do not step back, they will continue to take until you have nothing left to give. This is not God's will for you. You were not created to be an endless source of kindness for those who refuse to change. You were not called to waste your love on those who abuse it. Your kindness is meant for God's glory, not to enable the selfishness of others. This does not mean you stop being kind. It means you start being intentional. It means you stop giving endlessly to those who do not appreciate it and start giving where it truly matters. There are people in this world who are desperate for kindness, who will be transformed by your love, who will grow because of the grace you extend. That is where your kindness should go. That is where it will make the greatest impact. That is where it will bring glory to God. If your kindness is leaving you drained, exhausted, and empty, ask yourself, is this kindness glorifying God? Is it making a difference? Is it being used wisely, or is it simply being taken for granted? The answers to these questions will reveal where your kindness belongs and where it is being wasted. God calls us to be kind, but He does not call us to be weak. He calls us to love, but He does not call us to be used. He calls us to give, but He does not call us to be depleted. Your kindness is a gift, but like all gifts, it must be given wisely. Do not let it be wasted. Do not let it be misused. Give your kindness where it can grow, where it can transform lives, where it can glorify God. When you do, you will find that kindness is not a burden, it is a joy. Kindness is one of the greatest gifts we can offer, but it must be given with wisdom. Too often people mistake kindness for weakness, assuming it means tolerating mistreatment, saying yes to everything and giving without boundaries. But true kindness is not about allowing yourself to be used. It is about using your love, compassion, and generosity in ways that truly make a difference. Jesus showed us that kindness must be intentional. He loved deeply, forgave freely, and helped those in need, but He also knew when to walk away, when to set boundaries, and when to let people face the consequences of their choices. If we are to follow His example, we must do the same. We must stop wasting kindness on those who abuse it. We must stop allowing ourselves to be doormats in the name of love. We must stop casting our pearls before swine, hoping they will suddenly recognize the value of what they continuously trample upon. God calls us to be kind, but He also calls us to be wise. He does not want us to pour ourselves out to the point of exhaustion for those who refuse to change. He wants our kindness to be a tool for His glory, not a source of our suffering. When we learn to give our kindness wisely to those who will receive it with open hearts, to those who truly need it, to those who will be changed by it, our kindness will become a powerful force for good. So be kind, but do not be blind. Love, but do not let yourself be used. Give, but do not allow yourself to be drained. Let your kindness reflect God's wisdom and strength, not human